to do this in parts because, yeah, I just wanted to come and write about this journey that I've had this week, a 5-day challenge that I did with this woman on YouTube that I found and been going about her teachings and just watching her for a while now. Her name is Till Swan. It was a 5-day challenge to heal ancestry, trauma, and all that good stuff. We're out here. Y'all hear the music? Okay. We're gonna start. Day 1, it was just writing about our strengths and weaknesses from our upbringing, anything that was shown or taught. Me, I'm gonna just say 2 from each side because I did a couple, but my strengths that I found were being resilient and finding other ways to express myself, like through writing. A weakness that I found that I was shown was poor management and talking back or saying what was on my mind because it was disrespectful. So I didn't do that because it was taught to me that that was disrespectful and I wasn't allowed to. But I reflected on that and I learned more about myself when I did that day. What's on both lists because both make up who I am today, although they do not define me. Took me back and I had flashbacks of when I was abused. What surprised me the most was that I didn't cry. I cry a lot about everything. I love crying. I have no problem with crying at all. But calling myself a survivor, saying depending on my family as my strength, when for years I felt I couldn't emotionally. My isolation coming from feeling like I couldn't support myself and no one else could either. Today, I don't talk back in conversations when people ask about me, or I reply with very vague responses. And seeing how that stemmed from years of being taught to be invisible and silent. What just clicked in my mind about that was I previously have noticed or realized before it was like being with my mom all over again. Not feeling like I could say how I genuinely feel to the people closest to me because I was taught that was disrespectful and was not okay. Being quiet was better. But what I'm now realizing is that there can be a balance, a lovely balance. I'm grateful to have taken the time to do this. And yes, I've realized that there's a difference between being silent and being quiet. Being silent out of fear and being quiet. Just being quiet, knowing when to, sit back and listen and not talk. But day 2, we were supposed to choose to own a strength and a weakness we could either release or we can transform. Now, I'm going to choose one of the strengths that I chose to own, and that was resilience and finding other ways to express myself. And then we had to come up with 3 ways that we could practically live this out more. And the resilience one was recognizing when I feel overwhelmed by stresses in my life and take the time to relax, journal, and not dwelling on what felt too much. Y'all want to see me itching my nose? Because I got the notebook in one hand, phone in the other. A weakness that I chose to release was being quiet as to not upset my mom. I changed that word to silent, not quiet. Because I was silent out of fear and felt that my power was taken away from me. I felt like I didn't have no power, so I felt like I couldn't really say anything. 2 weaknesses I choose to transform are poor management and talking back or saying what was on my mind because it was disrespectful. Now, I've only come up with 3 ways for honoring my resilience and finding other ways to express myself, like through writing. I've just recently came up with 3 ways to release the being silent as to not upset my mom. Those 3 ways that I choose to practically live them out in my days are speak when feeling the need to, get curious as to why I go silent in situations that require me to voice my needs, wants, or opinions, and owning that I was being silent and in doing so, surrender my power. So just acknowledging that I was silent. Day 3, we had 2 options. Option A was 20 or more facts 20 or more new facts about our ancestry and where we come from, our family line, and how each impact our lives. And option B, I believe, was 20 or more facts about something else. I'm being completely honest, I don't know what it was. But I chose option A. And that was 20 or more new facts, like I just said. I don't know why I just repeated myself, but I did. Oh well. But yeah, I only ended up doing 10 because I really did get fatigued and I got tired and I got mad and I got sad, and it was just a very detrimental process. It was very draining because it was just going back in time of just things that I didn't even know affected me, but did. Okay, so we're just gonna run through the list real quick. I only did 10, like I said. Culture, people having to figure out a way that worked for their group of people based on shared experiences. Had to educate myself on that real quick again, because I know what culture is, but I needed another definition. Soul food being the food of us, scraps given by the masses to the slaves because they didn't want them. That impacted my life in a huge way. To sum it all up, it was all we ate. You already know. If you ate soul food growing up, you know what it is. I loved it growing up, but was never introduced to anything new. We had to eat everything on our plates, even if we didn't want to. That was harmful in a way that I didn't even recognize until I started having eating disorders. I myself stopped eating meat and dairy and eggs, and I want to say 2020 or 2021 just because I was barely eating anyways. I've struggled with eating disorders along with being diagnosed with both anxiety and depression. I love food, but my relationship with it hasn't always been the best, so it's just fly on me right now. Oh, I'm about to show y'all, but it wanted to go. But yeah, I tried out being vegan and I just liked it so much, so I just decided to do it. That may or may not be rooted in trauma. It is rooted in trauma. Oh well. Not so much. Okay, where was I at? I did define myself as vegan, but not so much anymore because it just boxed me in, and I'm not a strict vegan. I am not a strict vegan, okay? For those that know what vegan is, and those that don't, just go search it up. Because I don't know off the top of my head what the strict definition of it is, but I'm not all the way vegan. Number 2, slavery, insecurity, fear, all roped in as one. I watched a video on Jubilee about did slavery affect me or did slavery not affect me? And it was just people with different opinions coming together to have conversations, and I love that. I just love that. This has impacted me a lot, knowing that I do have this history, but knowing very little about it. All I was ever told was that I was black and to be proud. The fear of society and fear of everyone is something that I learned that I really resonate with. It's scary. It's like everything I've gone through and I'm still going through makes so much sense. It's unexplainable, really. It really is. Number 3, hip-hop starting at a time where people rapped about what they saw and what they wanted in life. Then about what they had been through and gotten over. Now people are glorifying and pretending to be doing things they really aren't. I was not born around the time of hip-hop when it was created. I feel like it was so influential, as is music itself. We listen to music because we want something or someone to relate to, or that's why I do. And just because I want to hear what other people have to say. It does impact me in my life because the way the music now portrays black people. We can't change the way people want to see us, is what I've learned in my own journey through life. Y'all gonna see this video getting low exposure and then high exposure, but it is what it is. Okay. 4, in 1864, a pamphlet titled Miscegenation. I don't know if I said that right. The theory of the blending of the races that was applied to the American white man and Negro was published. It claimed that interracial marriages would and should occur between African Americans and Irish Americans. I learned about this in my sociology class in high school, but I was reintroduced during this challenge because I was watching videos about my African American history and being Irish, having that Irish background but not knowing too much because I only grew up with being African American. This hasn't really affected me, but turns out it did after reading this, because girl, literally your great grandfather is Irish. What do you think? They mixed races. I'm sorry, but yeah. Yeah, I just said all this. I did want to acknowledge this part of me. At a time, they weren't considered white, but over time, whiteness as a definition has been redefined. Now, the Irish are considered white, to be put loosely. I go into a whole thing about that, but we're not going to get into that. 5. Religions all practicing in different ways, but believing in one God, creator of the universe. This has impacted my life because I did grow up going to church sometimes, taught to pray and believe in the Christian God. As I've come into my own person, I've chosen to believe in the universe and something higher than me. And my family, me practicing in a more spiritual way and not religious, felt like being casted out. But I understand why, because it's different. And some people like to stay, small-minded. But that's okay. I ain't knocking you. You don't gotta be my way. I accept you the way you are. It's easier said than done. Accepting people the way they are is not as easy as I'm making it seem. 6. We are denied the right to be a human being. That was a quote from Malcolm X when I was watching his videos too. This impacts me in my life heavily just by being black, but to see other people like me that are treated differently because of their race, and it has gone on for generations, it's just a lot of trauma and anger. It really is. 7. Was just dedicated to my dream. I ain't making no money, so it can't be that dope. That was a quote by Snoop Dogg. Brought up not really knowing what I was passionate about growing up. More so I knew when I was younger, but it's just been pushed up underneath everything I was conditioned to be and do. That's not me. It caused me to look at my relationship with money. Thank the Lord we looked at our relationship with money. 8. We almost there, y'all. 10. So much art and music outlets of expression. Turning to music and writing because of what I was going through. That's how I related to that little, yeah. 9. One thing we do have in common as black people is we share that poverty. That was a quote by Tupac. Definitely, all I can say is definitely. It's so many people that I know who have gone through the same thing. Learning more and more is bringing up anger and just sadness, because it goes back, like I said, generations. 10. We defend ourselves from the same crime element that they're scared of. And that's just the truth. That was another quote by Tupac. He was talking about the police. Bring all the weapons to the community. This just resonates the message, unity and community. Ooh. And that was 10 things that I learned about my ancestry that day. Let me see. Let's see what day this is. This video at 12. This is going to be a long video, y'all. Let me see. But that was day what, girl? Because I'm going to have to come back and do this if it's not in. Y'all, we was eventually going to be cut short because of my storage. But, yes, day 4 of the ancestral challenge was to write a letter to our ancestors. Basically, what we wanted to release, what we wanted to say to them, just raw, uncut, filtered. But let me know if y'all want to see that, because I can post pictures of it in the comments. Because, yeah, it's in the house, though. But right now, I'm not going in there, and I don't want to go in there to get it, and I don't want to read it, but I'm going to take pictures and show y'all anyways. And day 5 was a meditation of healing my ancestry and my family line. And I could just say it was very liberating. It was very powerful. I felt like I was doing so much work. Like, I felt like I was going to be the game changer. And I am. Now I thought I am going to be the game changer. But I can, whoever wants the meditation, I can send that too and put it in the comments. Because I just want to share my experiences with y'all. And now, today, what are we doing today, y'all? Today we journaling about authenticity and what I'm willing to accept now and understand that being a real whole you with and without people around. The perceived good and bad notions about me. There are a lot of damn things that I have to say about this. I just curse. Listen, YouTube, listen. Let's just think that we was talking about the water dam, not the word dam. But I just want to say aspects that I just journaled about. Good. We're going to read from those first. Kind, understanding. I listen to others' problems. Naturally quiet, creative, fascinated by the arts. I read. I love nature. Caring. Having healthy outlets for my anger and stress. extremely empathetic, smart, have a great personality. I love educating myself and finding ways to always improve. I'm great with kids. I'm spiritual, have faith, strong relationship with Nabi. Sensitive, I care about my health. I am funny. Deep person, I love animals, being a survivor, and my looks are all things I put in good aspects of me that are deemed that way or are really good, naturally good. But this is the first step for me in figuring out how to move more into authenticity, because I just feel like awareness is always the first step. And the list is long as heck. But sometimes I keep what I truly feeling or want to say to myself. Quiet at social events. I avoid confrontation. I keep all bad moments to myself. Awkward sometimes, don't know how to keep a conversation going. Being anxious, depression, being diagnosed with it. When it comes to relationships, I can't commit fully all the way. Clearly, from my other experiences. Listen, I'm being very raw and truthful with myself. So, bear with me. This is not easy coming out and saying this and putting this on YouTube for the world to see, you know. I would rather interact with and be around kids than I would people my own age. Twerking, moods constantly going up and down, sensitive, have my walls up high out of fear, get attached. A deep person, I put that both in good and bad, because in ways they're good, in ways it's bad. Free spirit that I've suppressed, being fluid in my sexuality, liking whoever I like, would like to try a threesome, would like to be, ooh, squirrel just scared me, with a girl, not having a job, being a survivor. Yo, I just felt embarrassment from saying would like to try a threesome and would like to be with a girl. I just felt embarrassment. I'm being honest with y'all about that. Whew. Being a survivor, I put as bad and good, because if you're a survivor, then you know what comes with that. Struggling with insecurity. My looks, I put in good and bad. If you want me to go more in depth into that, I can. Not knowing how to set clear boundaries, but I'm learning how to. Being a people pleaser, moving out of that, but still having those tendencies. Part of me that was emotionally neglected, part of me that was molested, part of me that has mom and dad issues, shut down when I'm mad, being vulnerable, very sexual, silent, not eating meat, dairy, eggs. The part of me that struggled with eating disorders. Your squirrel just looking at me. Say hi. Now it wants to run away. Guess it's camera shy. Anyways, the part of me that struggled with eating disorders. The one that tried to commit suicide a couple of times, of course. Connect suicide. How you connect suicide? The part that self-harmed to find relief. Going against everything society deems normal and experiencing homelessness. I feel completely naked. I'm me tripping on you. Tripping on you. Anyways, y'all. This is the end of that video. Like I always say, look within. You'll find all the answers. It's easier said than freaking done. Yeah. But the end result, you feel like you've accomplished something. You feel like you've learned something new about yourself. I am just enjoying this journey and being curious about myself. That's what's happening here. My life mission is just to become more and more aware and be truly who I am. Look at the squirrel, y'all. It keep coming back. I ain't seen no squirrels yesterday. Where was y'all at? And why y'all hiding? Giving you out.